Hello, Master Duel Central. How's it going, guys? I am so excited to finally be talking about dinos again. We have not done a dino deck profile, pure dino deck profile, in so long. I had to do that goofy Mathmech dino a couple formats ago just to be able to justify playing dinos. But those Doodle Beasts, they help a lot more than I expected. I'm going to be honest with you guys. They're even better than I thought for the list. Here is my list right now. We're going to go through the card by card at the end of the video as always. But man, I'm currently on a 3-game win streak. And I got to be honest with you guys. These cards are really solid. The Stego especially, just that free summon really helps the deck. Also, like, Tyranno is actually kind of a threat. Honestly, when you have it in hand, you're feeling pretty damn good about it. I was really surprised by how good it was. We actually have a replay where I completely dismantle a Sprite deck going second in Diamond 2, and we also have another replay that I won that is really goofy. I had to remove Giant Rex from the deck because I realized our last summon in the full Dino combo for this deck actually ends up wanting to do Shen Shen, so we're going to summon a Stego instead of a Giant Rex on the end of our combo. So because of that, I'm removing the Giant Rex. It's kind of a brick, so you'll see a replay where I have it, but now we're not playing it anymore. Other than that, we're going to do some gameplay. Going to try to get to Diamond 1 with the Dinos today. But yeah, guys, I can't wait to show you this deck in action. It is so cool. And the Doodle Beasts, man, they're so cute. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And more importantly, look at this guy. Oh my god. Anyway, dude, I am so happy to be playing some actual dinos, doing well, feeling confident. I know this deck like the back of my hand. So guys, let's get into the replays and then we're going to show you some live gameplay. All right, so as you can see here, yeah, we've been doing pretty well with the deck so far. So first off here, let's check out this replay against Sprite. I'm going to start by showing you like a more just like a more real replay because I have another one that's just super goofy. I just wanted to show it to you because it's funny, but this one actually really does demonstrate how good the Doodle Beast cards can be for the deck here. So we've got a hand of Doodle Beast Tyranno, Baby Ceratosaurus, Archosaur, Fossil Dig, and Called By, and we're going second against Sprite. They're going to normal summon Maxi and special summon the Carrot to go into Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite summon a Blue. Blue effect is going to search out the Jet. Then they're going to special out the Jet, searching a Sprite starter. Then they're going to link up, into Sprite Elf. Going to activate the effect of Sprite Elf, bringing back the Carrot. They're going to use these two to go into a copy of IP Masquerena, activate the Sprite Starter to get out a copy of Red, and pass turn. So basically as standard as it gets for a Sprite board, like not like a super high power Sprite board, just a very standard one, right? And our hand is not like super equipped for going second. It's a pretty standard hand, I would say, for dinos. We draw into Chimera, love to brick on this card, it's the best. But anyway, we start the turn off with Fossil Dig since Carrot is still in the graveyard. And they're going to chain Ash. We're actually going to use our Called by the Grave on Ash because we really want this Fossil Dig here. Then they're going to use the effect of Sprite Elf to get Carrot. I kind of wanted them to do this because I didn't really need to use spells again for a while. So use that. Then we're going to go get ourselves a Miscellaneous Saurus. Afterwards, we're going to use the effect of Mist to bait out the red, and they use red on the first effect of Mist, which is good for us. Now we're going to normal summon Archosaur, popping the baby in hand to search an evolution pill. My thought process here is, keep in mind, guys, Doodle Beast Tyranno is a quick effect, normal summon itself from your hand, so it's like an additional normal summon, and it can pop a card when it's normal summoned. Now, the moment where, like, I'm just waiting for them to go Unicorn so that they target a Dino, so that in response to Unicorn, I can tag out that Dino and go into Tyranno and pop the Unicorn. Unfortunately, I forget that IP Masquerena makes the monster unpoppable, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see the rest of the replay here. Anyway, so we special summon out Ovi with the effect of Baby, searching a Stego with the Ovi. The reason I searched Stego here is because I already used Misk this turn, but it might have been smart to get a Misk again because Misk is not once per turn, so if they negate the first effect of Misk, you can actually use Misk again. So maybe I should have searched Misk here, but I figured I actually wanted the extra body just in case that they, like, I go into some Link plays and that they decide to target my Link monster, that I can at least still tag out like a Stego and go into a Tyranno and, you know, just build from there. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that IP Masquerena protects from popping in this turn. So anyway, Stego effect is gonna search the trap, and we're gonna discard the Then we're going to go into our Link Karibo off of Archosaur. Use the effect of Misk in the Grave, banishing Misk and Archosaur to summon a baby. So, you know, here I wanted to do like standard Dino combo. You know, you go Ovi, pop the baby, summon the other baby from the grave. But of course, as soon as they see the baby, they're like, oh no, this is about to be a problem. And what do? They actually go to my surprise, into Underworld Goddess. See, I did not expect this. I thought for sure they would go into Unicorn. So this does kind of change my plans a little bit. They go for the effect of this, so they negate the Ovi on the field. So after this resolves, I'm actually going to summon a Tyranno. And the reason I do this is because, like I said, I forgot. I forgot that the monster summoned by IP Masquerena cannot be popped. But anyway, so I tribute for it, I try for it, and it doesn't work. I'm like, screw it. No more carrot. We're going to activate our pill here, get rid of the Chimera, get rid of that. Summon a UCT, we'll just beat over it by battle and attack directly for a good amount of damage here. Attack with the Linkuriboh. Here, I think I misplayed a little bit, guys. I'm going to explain to you why. I passed on this board here, which is like not really good. The thing is, I was super confident because against Sprite, if you flip their first level 2, they basically just lose the game. So I was just like, UCT pass is good enough against Sprite. We're fine. But honestly, what would have been smarter here is going into a Link 2, like maybe making an IP Masquerena, just so that I could go into Elf, because, you know, Elf, you can use a Link 2 as well as, like, a Linkuriboh, let's say, to make an Elf. And then I could have brought back the baby, so on my opponent's turn, I could have popped the baby with the UCT to flip and get some more advantage from there. So, kind of a misplay on my part here to just pass on this. I was feeling a bit overconfident, I would say. But anyway, so just wanted to point that out. If you want to play optimally, I would have went for an Elf there. But either way, our opponent can't play because UCT is just too good against Sprite. And there we are. We won, going second against a very like standard Sprite board that you'll see very often in this game. So I think that's like a testament to the deck. And this is in Diamond 2, you know. Now we have a really, really funny replay that I have to show you. It's not like an optimal replay or anything. It's just goofy as hell. So let's get into that. This was my second game testing out the deck, and it was just too funny. I had to show it off. We brick pretty heavily here on the. We're going first. And we have Dark Ruler, Stego, Giant Rex, Imperm, and Ash Blossom. That's kind of why I wanted to remove Giant Rex. There's really no reason to run Giant Rex in this deck. Sure, it can be kind of a win more card when you get to banish it for its effect, but at the end of our full Dino combo, when we're going first, we actually want to summon Stego to go into Shen Shen. So Giant Rex is kind of like redundant, and it's kind of just a bad draw. So I removed it after this. But it's okay, you know, we're going to play with the cards we have here. So we're going to go for Stego, and Stego effect is going to search the trap. Now, in this case, I actually want that negate attack effect just because our hand is just so, like, terrible. So we're going to set the Doodle Book, and we're going to set the Infinite Impermanence. Then we're going to summon Giant Rex and Stego and pass turn. They're going to summon out a Quakimeru Guardian. I'm like, oh, hell nah. We activate Imperm on the Quakimeru Guardian because we don't want them to be able to negate our Ash once they summon the Researcher. So they're going to summon out the Researcher, activate the effect of Researcher, and we're going to negate it with Ash. Now here, I'm feeling pretty confident because they are playing the pile version of Adamancipators, which is just worst because it gets pretty bad Excavation. So I was like, you know, they can get the Dragite, not the Dragite, I mean, they could get to Raptite, and it probably won't even resolve anyway, right? So I'm like, okay, this is the best I can do. You know, we're looking pretty rough. They have 4 cards in hand, and we're out of interruption pretty much. But they activate... Notice the zone that they activate their left arm offering, bro. Best grass player of all time. Anyway, so they activate it in our Imperm column. Then they go Raptite. And of course, they're playing the shitty Punk Pile Ishizu version of Adamancipator, so they don't get a good Excavation on their Raptite. They go for battle. We're going to negate the attack with the and it passes back turn to us. So this is like as good as this trap is ever going to be, pretty much. We're going to use the banish it from grave to get a UCT. Then we can special summon the Stego from our hand here. Using the Stego and Giant Rex, we can go into IP Masquerena. And then we can banish 2 dinosaurs from our grave, special summon the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And, you know, yeah, Giant Rex gets to come back. That is nice, but I mean, I don't think that makes it worth keeping the card, to be honest. But yeah, I just thought it was a funny replay. Let's go to some live gameplay now. All right, so let's try to get some live gameplay here in Diamond 2, trying to showcase the comp. Wow, that hand, that is a perfect hand to get some gameplay. Oh my god. So we're playing against tiny balls here. Okay, so there's a couple routes we can take for this. We could go like Misk first. I kind of want to try baiting out an Ash. First off, we're going to test for Ash with Pot of Prosperity for 3. Usually, if I'm going first, I know I won't really need the Zeus engine because that engine mostly exists to get like rid of a bunch of floodgates when you're going second against a trap deck. Going first, we don't really need it, so we're going to go for this. It seems like they had no chainable, so I'm kind of thankful for that. And we get a couple of good draws here. I think we're going to grab the Fossil Dig. So far, I'm not smelling Maxi or Ash, but they might have just turned chaining off. So we're going to go... We're going to test for Imperm here. I'm going to summon Ovi Test for Imperm. Seems like they don't have it, so we just have everything ever. It's just a perfect hand. So our opponent's probably going to scoop pretty fast. Let's go grab a UCT. In this case, I grab a UCT because like we have everything we need other than that. We can even go grab a Stego as a bonus. We're going to go Fossil Dig here. Just want to test even further for an Ash. All right, they really don't have it. So let's grab a Stego. Stego is pretty good, man. Honestly, it's a really good card. Just that free summon, that free body is nice. And also, we get to search that trap and put it in the grave, which gives us an interruption next turn. Quick effect pop, basically. Because Stego will search the trap and discard it. While you search a trap, then you can discard any card from your hand. So you'll discard the trap itself. And on your opponent's turn, you can banish it from grave, search a Tyranno, and Tyranno has a quick effect pop. So it's actually an interruption to have it in your grave. So now we're going to go Misc effect. And we're going to banish one, of course. Now you guys are probably, you might be familiar with dinos. I know my audience grew a lot since the last time I did a dino deck profile. So I'll take you through the steps here. We've got Archosaur. Archosaur is going to pop the baby. So baby pop in. And then with baby, you want to summon another copy of baby Ceratosaurus. So after we pop the baby here, baby triggers in the grave to special summon a dino from the deck. We're going to special summon out another baby Ceratosaurus. Then after that, we can use the effect of Oviraptor to pop the baby on the field and bring back the other one from the grave. So pop the baby, let's go, grab the other one, bring it back. Very good. Then baby triggers, we can special summon from our deck a dino. You want to go for a Scrap Raptor. So special Scrap Raptor. Then we're going to go Scrap Raptor effect to pop the baby again. So pop the baby. Yep. Pop it. Now, normally I would grab a Petite Ranodon here because but since we already have the Stego, I'm actually going to grab a baby so that we can get another Misc in the grave just for like, kind of follow up next turn. But I'll show you what I mean by that. So anyway, with this board here, what I want to do usually is I'll start with a Linkuriboh. Reason for that is if they have Imperm and they use it on the Wyvern, then at least I can still activate my pill because I got a non-dino in the grave. So we're going to use Linkuriboh as well as Scrap Raptor to go into Scrap Wyvern using these two. Now, like I said, normally I would have summoned a Petite Ranodon here so that we could get a Stego out of the deck. But since we already got our Stego for free, I figured might as well summon a baby here. So anyway, we're going to grab Scrap Raptor from the grave, bring it back to the field like that. Then we can pop the Scrap Raptor, pop it, and we can trigger Scrap Wyvern and chain block it with the Scrap Raptor. You want this effect to resolve more. Even though getting that Chimera is really good, popping that baby is pretty important. So grab a Chimera, add it to your hand, and then from your deck you get to summon another copy of Scrap Raptor and pop the baby. So from here, there's a lot of ways to go about it. Like, depending on what you're playing against, there might be better plays. Like, sometimes I like going for Bagooska control with some Link monsters. But for this one, I'm going to show you kind of like the big board that I try to make. So let's special summon a Misc from the deck here. Yep. Now, our next play would be to make an Elf using, it doesn't really matter which ones. We're going to use actually the Misc as well as the Scrap Wyvern here to make an Elf. And yeah, next up we can go for Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is an extra normal summon that Scrap Raptor gives us, and with Scrap Chimera's extra normal summon, we can grab a Scrap Raptor from the grave and special summon it. There we go. Man, this is looking pretty good for us. So first things first, we're actually gonna make a Savage Dragon here now that we have our Wyvern in the grave. So use Scrap Raptor as well as Ovi, and make a Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon effect will trigger and we'll equip it with the Scrap Wyvern. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we want to make a Shen. I wanted to protect the Shen from targeting, but I misplaced my Chimera. So I can't put the Shen here. I want to make a Shen that can't be targeted. All right, let's make a Shen. Don't do like me, just be careful about your zones. You want to make your Shen untargetable. You want to put it where Chimera is right now. Anyway, so we have Shen here. Then we can special out the UCT. Special the UCT, banishing. You can banish this Stego from grave as well as Archosaur. There we go. Awesome. Normally you would have summoned it with the pill, but we didn't really need to use it. Now I gotta choose if I want to use my pill. I mean, I kind of do, honestly. I kind of do. Let's use it. We can grab a Pankratops. This is like god tier, like best possible board, I guess, that you can get. Let's get rid of that Linkuriboh that we put in the grave earlier. That was our insulation so that we could use our pill. And yeah, let's grab a Pankratops. So this is looking like unbeatable, to be honest. Looking unbeatable. Obviously, if they have like Dark Ruler, we lose the game though. But shit, we got Maxi in hand too. All right, so at least our Savage is untargetable. Our Shen is not, but for some reason we have untargetable Scrap Chimera, so that's cool, I guess. We also have this trap here in the grave, the Doodle Book, which is going to allow us to banish it from the grave and get a pop on our opponent's turn here. Branded Opening is a good card, not a problem, though. We're going to go Max C, because why not? Surely this will get my opponent to scoop at this point. There's no way. Ash on Max C here. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Sending Tragedy to the grave. Oh, that's kind of an issue, actually. Not that big of an issue, though. I don't know. We can kind of just hold our negate for Branded Fusion. We can kind of just hold it. All right. Okay. So Aliber here. Aliber effect. Going to get chain blocked by the Tragedy. Yeah, that's okay with me. We can just go Doodle Book And I'm just gonna go grab that Tyranno right now. Yep, let's grab a Tyranno. That's awesome. Now UCT is not that good against Espio. I know Espio is really popular right now. I've actually been seeing quite a bit of it. Yeah, so they're searching an ad libitum. That's interesting, I guess. And then with Aliber, they're gonna get probably so branded in red here. That's okay. What we can do is if they go branded in red, we can just pop their Aliber so that they can't summon the Chimera, because Chimera has to use a monster on the field. Yeah, so they're going to go branded Fusion. That's definitely getting negated. Definitely negating branded Fusion. Then if they go for branded in red, I mean, like I said, we can just pop the Aliber so that they can't summon Chimera. Oh. That's interesting. To get an Albaz, huh? I guess might as well force it out. Let's force it out right now. Yeah. So I think the way this resolves, Albaz won't even get the trigger because it'll be flipped face down on summon. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I might be wrong, but we'll see. So yeah, Albaz gets summoned, then UCT resolves, popping it. So technically it was never summoned face up. I think that's how that works. Right? Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so then they can go branded in red. Oh, that's kind of an issue now, though. Okay, so what we want to do... Oh, yeah, that's a big problem, actually. Okay. We're still going to go Pank Effect. I'm actually going to get rid of Albaz instead. So Pank Effect to pop this. And yeah, we can go Sprite Elf effect. This kind of getting a little bit scary. I should have used Sprite Elf effect earlier. We could go like Tyranno and try to pop the other one, but I think the timing is going to be a little off. Yeah, because my pop will start on a separate chain, so they might still get their Chimera, but they don't have a polymerization in the grave, so we'll see. All right, Elf. Baby summons here. Alright, so we get rid of the Albaz. It gets banished. Then they grab back their Despian Tragedy. So we have Aliber here, Adlib in hand, Tragedy, and an Unknown. So they use all three to make, yeah, a Chimera. And they get to pop one. But we also get to pop one. And we're going to trigger, of course, the Tyranno here. So everyone gets to pop something, right? Ad libitum. Gonna get back Aliber. They're gonna get to draw two. So now there's 3 unknowns. Still Despia, they're still really good. But this is looking a bit tougher for them now. I mean, they already tried to use Branded Fusion, that was negated. Yeah, they're gonna pop the Savage, which like makes sense. A Guido. Go into battle with a Guido. So we're gonna beat over Elf, that makes sense, and then they're gonna beat over the baby, I guess. Interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, I mean, now it's a pretty simplified game state, you know. Despia is like arguably the best deck right now, so nothing too surprising there. We can go Misc Effect in the grave, however, so that's since we got to get that earlier. So let's go Misc Effect here, And how many do we want to banish? Probably 4. So yeah, let's go. We can keep like 1 baby in the grave, banish everything else. Just like that. Yep. Get an OV here. OV effect. Honestly, maybe a petite. We did not normal summon. We can grab a petite. Yeah. Normal petite here. Let's go to battle. So let's just start by like doing this stuff here. We can go Shen effect. We can actually bring some of this stuff back to our grave here. I'm gonna bring back my mist to my grave, I think. Okay, and we can beat over this. Get that banished as well. Attack directly for 24. Attack directly for 500. Main phase 2. I mean, we can still go for it. Pop the petite. Grab a level 4 in our grave. I just want to make a monster negate here, so I'm going to grab a mist just to make a Dolka. I was going to make a Baguska, but I kind of want to keep this banish effect. I think it's giving me a good amount of control, even though Despia can kind of play with under that. I mean, we have Ash for the branded fusion. We have Dolka if they want to trigger some monster effects. It's looking like pretty unplayable for them. Yeah, I'm feeling really good about this, actually. Alright, Keldo. Discard Kelbeck. We can actually negate the summon of Keldo. But actually, we could just go like Dolka, pop the Keldo. Don't really care. Yeah. So Dolka, pop the Keldo. Dolka's not once per turn, and Kelbeck effect, we're actually just going to Ash. Yeah, I'm going to Ash that. They don't have a Tragedy engraved, so they're not getting back their branded fusion. If the last card in hand is branded fusion, then like lucky them, I guess. But even then, if they summon like Lubellion or something like that, we can just negate Lubellion with the Dolka. So I'm not feeling too bad about it. What's that last card? It's Tragedy. Okay, we win. Oh man, yeah, that was a hell of a game though. That was a really good game. I think that's I mean, it's a very complete game. We'll give it that much. That triggers. Oh, it was banished by a card effect. Either way, we would have gone to negate it. Man, what a game. What a way to showcase the deck too, man. That's crazy. I think that's a pretty thorough showcase of how the deck plays overall, right? So yeah, guys, here's the deck list. Honestly, Doodle Dinos they're good. I mean, I don't know if they're like incredible. Like, I don't think they're top tier or anything like that. But I do think it might be pulling Dinos more towards the tier 3, like just above Rogue. With these cards, it really does help a lot. And that little interruption you get off of Tyranno, you know, when you summon Stego, you get to add the trap, discard the and then you get to search Stego on your opponent, Tyranno on your opponent's turn, and you get a quick effect pop, basically. That makes this card really, really solid. So I do think they actually help Dinos tremendously. So we're going to go through the card by card here. We've got 2 Archosaur, 3 Baby, 2 copies of Maxi, 1 copy of Petite Ranodon, 3 copies of Ash, 1 copy of Scrap Chimera, triple Misk, double Ovi, double Scrap Raptor, double Stego, 1 Pancratops, 1 Tyranno, 1 Lithosagem, 1 UCT, 1 Terraforming, double Evolution Pill at 2, triple Fossil Dig, 2 copies of Dark Ruler, 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity, Dragonic Diagram, 1 Lost World, double Call by the Grave, 1 Crossout Designator, 1 copy of Evenly Matched, 1 Imperm, and 1 In the extra deck, we've got 1 copy of Savage Dragon, 1 Shen. I'm just testing this out. This is not a must play. You guys can replace it if you want. If you do, maybe run the Giant Rex just so that you can like do more like rank 4/level 4 plays. Like you could replace this with the Lagia, for example. But I kind of like summoning a Stego and then getting to set up a Shen. It gives you like an interesting way of controlling the game. 1 copy of Dolka, 1 copy of Borbao, 1 copy of Chakanine, 1 copy of Baguska, our Zeus, 1 Linkaribo, Secure Gardena, the Scrap Wyvern, the IP Masquerena, Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf is a must play in Dinos now, by the way. 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 Appaloosa, and the Axis Code Talker. Yeah, overall, I really like this deck. I also like, if you do get your Lith, you can get a look at your opponent's extra deck, and that kind of tells you what kind of board you want to set up when you're going first. Like, sometimes, if I see like I'm playing against Despia in advance, I like to set up, basically, I'll do like an Elf, an IP Masquerena, a Baguska, a UCT, and a Baby. And basically, what that forces my opponent to do is they have to deal with the Baguska, and it's untargetable thanks to Sprite Elf. And then once they deal with the Baguska, they've just freed up my other effects, and I can just go like UCT effect and stuff like that. Of course, also, while they're under Baguska, I can use the effect of IP Masquerena and maybe go into Appaloosa if I need it, or go into Unicorn if that's needed. So I really like switching to like a Link Baguska control strategy sometimes when I know what my opponent is playing. So Lith is really good at that. Also, if you get interrupted a lot and you can't go into like your regular plays, doing that line with just like Baguska and an elf and just protecting your Baguska from like targeting is actually really solid. And if you can get an IP on top of it, get an IP Sprite elf plus the Baguska, that's also really incredible. So definitely don't sleep on those cards. I definitely think like Elf, Masquerena, Unicorn, and Baguska are all must play in the deck, definitely. The Zeus engine is kind of weird, and some people might not want to run it because it takes up a lot of space. Me personally, going second against trap decks, I really like having this just as a way of clearing the board. But it does depend which ones. Like, you can't play through every floodgate. But, you know, as far as I know, it's helped me a lot. And there's a lot of different scenarios where I just want a good, quick access to Zeus to just, like, make some space on the board. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's my deck list. If you guys have like different builds for it and stuff like that, make sure to join the Discord, link in the description. And, you know, let's theory craft. Let's try to optimize this stuff. But I was testing with this and I was getting good results in Diamond 2 with it. So I think that's a testament to how good the deck can actually be. I think it's really good for Dinos, and it's actual real support. It feels so good to be playing Dinos again. Anyway, huge shout out to my UCT tier members. That would be Raptor, Bongerman for 20, Dad Dude Joey, Huda Man Me, as well as B-Dubs, Hit or Miss JT, and JQ the King. You guys are awesome. Thank you also to people supporting in baby tier, miss tier, you who's liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all that good shit. That's it for me. All right. Peace.